Hey everybody, Radaman here for another episode of Kenshi. Thanks for tuning in. So, this episode I am going to try to fill our ranks as much as I can with warriors so I can get ready to town build. I want Radaman to be training on the locksmith training box as much as he can. So I'm not going to take him off of that for sure. I'm going to leave him going full steam ahead with that. So what I'm going to do instead is use Chung here to head to some local spots. So I'm going to turn off his... I'm actually going to switch squads so I can keep an eye on him a little bit easier. And I'm turning off his jobs so that he will be running and not trying to return back to town where he has employment. Alright, so what I'm doing here, let's take a look at these maps. Learn where, oh yes. Oh, I've been looking for that map for a while now. That's good to know. So this will show me where a bunch of the southwest locations are, or south locations are. Drifter's Last, Clownsteady, Katoon, Morn, all those places good. Now, what I'm going to be doing with Chung is trying to... Yep, you can see my bags. I am not a smuggler. That is always so abrupt when it happens. And then, additionally, I am going to use my fastest. It's probably Green. I'm going to use Green. And he is going to head to Shark, which is not exactly a safe trip. And then... Beep is going to drop his pants and head to Mongrel. Now, both are not safe trips, but the purpose of both is to try to get the recruits going much faster to accelerate my plan to get a reasonable squad together. Let's see, you have nothing because I've already traded with you for the day. And what I'll do is I'll try to micromanage them. They just have to be faster than Blood Spiders and Fogmen, which I believe they are, so we will dodge as many bullets as we can. Pengu here, I'm going to send to the waste station. And we can catch up with them soon. Alright. I am looking for some recruits. I'm looking for a few specific recruits. Basically, I think, although it's a bit of an arbitrary number, 30, or rather 20 combat people will be ideal. Where I want to settle, numbers are important. They're all talking to each other out in the distance. Until I'm much stronger, I don't want to get overwhelmed and swarmed by numbers. So, Hot Lungs is not going to be one of my recruits. I'm only really after one additional Shek, and that would be Rain the Giant. Let's do a quick, oh yeah, health check. Mew is going to come on back to town. In fact, I'll temporarily disable her jobs and have her buy a backpack so she can carry the food herself. So as long as I have my two hivers running north and south, I know that I'm doing well. And then Chung is running to Admag. Hopefully I won't have to go all the way down to Last Stand for Rain. I can always just poke around Squin. Eventually she'll show up. Beep is getting engaged on, so let me pause for a second. And reload some broken buildings. That way I can see inside. So I'm going to buy the wooden backpack. And honestly, a big thing of meds. And inside her backpack, I'm just going to stuff it full of food and turn her jobs back on. Alright, so Mr. Beep, You are being chased by probably a bunch of hungry bandits. Or dust bandits. Pretty much the same thing. A little bit more armored, but pretty much the same thing. I wonder how much these dust bandits want to be led into a beak nest. A beak thing nest. Probably not much. So Beep is still on his way to Mongrel. Nope. And a Gorillo. Ah, 2 Gorillos. Well, lucky for me, Gorillos move at 15 speed and Beep's moving at 24. I even threw Beep's pants away, just so he'd move a little bit faster. Green is down here in the swamp. Actually, he's making pretty good time to Shark. And this is, I'll swing by Mudtown first. This is all for recruitment purposes. I'm just hoping I don't lose anyone by making the trip. It's a little perilous, but worth it in the end if I can get the recruits I'm looking for. And Radamont's back here, just training up his lockpicking, which will come in handy soon. His lockpicking can train up to 20 on this box. Burn here and Wecky, I'm just going to call him Wecky because I don't know what to call him, are just about, Burn is just about maxed out on these dummies. I don't really have anything of added value for him to do. So, dummy whacking is fine for now. That sounds like a weird activity, dummy whacking. Alright, so here we are at Amag. A very imposing looking town in true Czech style. Not only am I going to swing by the bar to see who there is to recruit, which is over here, these 2 buildings. I also want to swing by the armor smith to see if I can't pick up some additional armor. So as you can see, Chung here has a thieves backpack and a wooden backpack on him. Oh, but before I do that, Green here is being chased. Lucky for me, I'm already in Mudtown. I'm not exactly sure what was chasing him, but it's about to get killed. A bunch of swamp ninjas. Yep. Boo, not cool. Silvershade. Absolutely, we'll recruit you, buddy. Done. He is a Hive Prince. So Hive Princes are pretty good at science, first aid, thievery, stealth, that kind of stuff. They are, yeah, and he's a unique character. So how fast is he? He is not nearly as fast as Green. He's also just about naked. So give him your katana and see if there's some food. Now back to Chung. Rain the Giant will stand out because she's big. So all these little skinny shacks here, they're definitely not Rain. Now I might have to, if I don't find enough, or if I don't find the people I'm trying to find, I will settle for sort of non-unique recruittions. I already have with Voth, I think. I don't think he's unique in any way, but Chung, if you're running all my errands for me, let's have you buy some meat. And it seems like I am destined to go to Last Stand, so I'll have Chung start running there. Luckily, the deserts down here are a lot safer than these swamps, or definitely safer than the fog islands. So, all right, Radamont, despite the fact that I want you to train a lot, I still need to make a buck. So let's do some trading. I did just hire Silvershade. So So I will need to keep my wealth up. And I think I have some old armor that I no longer need. Yep. Perfect. Well, I went from 3,000 to 12,000. It's a bit of a difference. Silver Shade, I'm going to have come home. Beep is about to go into the Fog Islands. Now the trouble here is if you get attacked and, let's say, knocked unconscious, you'll be eaten. You'll be eaten real quick. And that's not a fate I want any of my people to endure. Okay, let's leave Mudtown for Shark. There's a lot of different people that we can hire at Shark. And as you can see, our squad is starting to fill up. I need 4 more people because I am not including Chung here. He is going to stay in town. He'll be our base's doctor. Okay, speeding time up a little bit. I think of all the people that I am currently micromanaging in separate places, the person in the most danger is probably Beep. I do have... Actually, let me set Shade to passive 2. It's a cool name, Silver Shade. And Silver Shade's stats are not terrible. Despite being really good in the sciences, he doesn't start with any science stuff. So the lore behind the Hive Princes are, nobody's ever really seen the Queen. She sends out her princes to act as the government. I guess not government. I mean, we're talking, we're talking more Hive, but act as her authority. And that's what the princes do. And then you have Hive soldiers. It's much like an ant colony in a way. Hive soldiers and Hive workers. So Beep is not a Hive Prince, obviously. And they all have their different stats. So let me look up the differences real quick. The princes are good at the sciences, whereas so they'll have a bonus to science and field medicine. The soldiers only really have a bonus to attack. They're just sort of attack drones. And then the workers have a bonus to dex and athletics and farming and engineering and laboring and stealth and toughness and turrets and yeah. The soldiers are probably the least interesting. The princes have these small heads. Well, this isn't a prince. Silver Shade is a prince. So if I look at his, we're currently loading a zone right now. Yeah. So if we look at his head down here, let me zoom in on him while he's swimming. Princes have the little pea pod head. I don't know how to call it. And then Beep and Green are workers. The soldiers have wide, sort of hammerhead shark-looking heads. But Beep did make it to Mongrel all the way in, which is good. So we're after... we're here to recruit someone who's insane. I think you all know who it is. Oh, perfect. This outlaw is a Hive soldier. Let's check another bar. It's not to say that I won't recruit them anyway. I'm just trying to get to the arbitrary 20 mark. I feel like that will be enough. Might as well, while I'm down here, look at some blueprints. Or up here, I guess. It is sort of north. I have a lot of people in a lot of different spots. One of the things about this game is it requires a lot of memory. So the more areas that you're currently in, the harder it's going to be on your computer's memory. So if you don't have a lot of memory, it's something to keep in mind. All right, we'll buy a little food. Skinner. Where are you, Wing Wang? The other bar, I think. I'm going to check. Well, I'm not going to check the armory just yet. You can always have... It's safe to stay in Mongrel. You know, I'm not really in any threat while I'm in here. So I can stick around and wait. I haven't checked this bar, though. Now, looking at the overhead map, Chung is closing in on Last Stand, and the other guys are already in Shark. Silver is halfway out of this swamp. So let's check in on our Shark visitor. And we'll see about hiring any uniques in Shark. I'm trying to fill the squad with uniques first, because they sometimes have stories, or at the very least, personalities. And those can kind of shine through, which is why people love Beep and Wing Wang and some of the other sort of more unique recruits. Gustavin, Bar Thugs, Blend, Holy Pacifier. Okay. It's also, well, I don't know. It's about bar time. People should be showing up to these bars soon. Right, here's another bar. The Dancing Skeleton. That's, I believe, where I recruited Weki, or whatever his name is. I should just decide arbitrarily what I'm going to call him. Silver doesn't look like he's moving anymore. No, it's because he's swimming. Swimming is a lot slower. But luckily, there's only swamp turtles nearby. That's not going to get him killed. I also have to be mindful of not sending a hiver necessarily into like a xenophobic area like the Holy Empire. I wouldn't want to send them to Blister Hill, for instance, because I might not be met with immediate you know, they might not immediately attack me, but they'd think about it. Oh, Stubbs. Hey, Stubbs. There's another unique recruit. He is a little crazy. But he's got insane sword skills. Alright. I'll give him his 5k cats. So he starts off with some decent stats. At least they're not zeros across the board. And lucky for me, he also has wooden sandals, which will make it really easy for me to send him back to Squin. He'll be a little bit faster on his way. And as I said before, I can always leave, especially hivers, because they don't eat often. They don't eat much. They're pretty easy to feed. I can leave them... Oh, here's Win Wing. I don't have enough money for Win Wing at the moment to recruit him. So I am going to hop back to Radamant and make some quick cash. I have a lot of moving parts here, and given that it is an Ironman Dead is Dead playthrough, I will say I am running a huge risk, but it is all in the name of pushing the, let's call it the needle forward for you guys. So hopefully it pays off. All right, Silver's still moving. He's leaving. Okay. So Beep was the one up here. Let's talk to another insane person. Oops. He is trying to sell himself as for 100,000 cats. Well, we'll just say I could get 10 for that price. I'll say okay 10,000, and he says never. 5,000, and he gets hired out for 5,000. Now the advantage of him is he starts with really good combat stats, so that will help. We are currently in Mongrel, so for him to run back, he has a run speed of 18. Now, unfortunately for me, Fogmen also have a run speed of 18, so I probably ought to get him some shoes. Some shoes that will make him faster than the enemies, because if he gets caught, that's real bad. He'll be eaten. I will have just spent 5,000 on a dude who is fed to the Fogmen. But it's pretty easy to buy really cheap sandals, so you needn't worry. You know, I'm also going to buy the Drifter's boots. I don't know if I'm going to get the plated long boots. I could go to the Great Library, but I've done that in the past, and I've also not gotten the stuff I wanted off of the Great Library as well. All right, so Beep, you're going to follow Wing Wing, and Wing Wing, you are going to run like your life depends on it, down to somewhere safer. And they're both, at the moment, set to passive, so they should not be engaging anyone while running. And Wing Wing is a little bit faster, so it says +2, but that's bogus. He's really just +1. But we should be able to outrun anything bad. At the moment, I don't think I have enough money for Rain the Giant. I think she's 7,500 if memory serves, but that doesn't mean I don't want to spot her, because I can always go and sell some stuff back at Squin. Set some random Shek warrior. Chung, you don't need food. Alright, there's no one here. I don't think I'm coming back here. What I'm going to do is I'm going to just poke into AdMag and Squin until one of those two people have Rain. Rain has even a chance to be in Squin, so if I can avoid running all the way to Last Stand, that would be ideal, because it's kind of far. Which kind of sucks. It'd be funny if Rain was here the whole time. Just like, oh yeah, you're looking for me? You went to the end of the continent? Well, here I am. So our squad is now up at 19. I need 2 more to make 20 because I'm not including Chung in that. But at this point, I've recruited Wing Wang, who is probably the most important. Rain would be the second most. And then from there, really any random will do. Okay, we don't have Rain in Squin at the moment. Or at least not that I can tell. What I can do is poke into the Armorsmith. I am rebuilding my meshes at the moment. There we go. Anytime a house doesn't load, you can just rebuild your meshes and poke your head on in there. So we have Drifter's boots. Wouldn't be a terrible thing to get Shrike to crank some out. There is a high grade helmet that I'm gonna buy. And I can afford one of these pants. I'm gonna buy the high grade one as well. So now we're broke. we have a little bit more armor for outfitting everyone, which is good. That's what we need. Just because I can hire out a large squad does not mean that large squad is in any condition to fight. Most of the people you can hire start with low stats, and I actually really appreciate this, and I'll explain why. I appreciate it because it gives you a sense of accomplishment when you level your guys up. If they all started at, like, let's say 1,000, obviously that's not a real starting point, but let's say they start at like 1,000, you know, when they get to 1,001, big deal. But when you start at 0 and you get to 50, that feels like you've really done something, which is pretty cool. Just looking around. I don't think I'm going to spend those books just yet. But I will send... I will just keep training. I do have my Pengu off at the way station to buy stuff in bulk. Looking at everyone here. They're not even that far out of Mongrel. I haven't had Green leave the swamp yet. Oh, there's a... Why is that... What? There's a blood spider just like sitting there, not being messed with. At the moment, I don't really have any money to buy or recruit anyone else. Like Gustavin here, despite having terrible stats, is like, oh, spend 5,000. It's like, for what, your bounty because you suck? I think not. I think we have enough Shek. Anyway. Plus rain. I'm gonna get rain eventually. So we need one more. Just one more. Yeah, you can see the guards fighting blood spiders over there. Who's in here? Some stone rats, Kenshi, blend. These are all sort of random people as far as I know. Now, if you know of a comprehensive, these are all mercenaries, a comprehensive list of unique recruits, a lot of the times the not so unique recruits are really obvious because you talk to them and they don't really have much to say. You know, what would be good? I think that was maybe a good example. You know, they're sort of one-liners. There's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with having just another soldier. Blend, however, seems to not be... I'm making fun of her. And she's pissed. I called her a meathead. Alright, it's time to leave. Or rather, time for the guards to beat her up. I provoked her into a fight. Oh, this is kind of fun. Well, I'm not breaking the law right now. So she's part of the stone rats and committing crimes. There's a lot of stone rats in here committing crimes. I think I'll just watch. I'm here on a recruitment mission, so I'm not all that interested in getting cut. This is pretty funny, though. And Ribs here, I think, was a prisoner of the stone rats. Which is why she's following me. She thinks I'm a fogman because fogmen are like mentally ill hivers that try to eat you. Oh, yep. And she thinks I'm a talking fogman. And she wants to fight me, it seems. Well, that's not very nice. Let's follow and head on back towards Squin. I think we've done... Well, actually, let's see the aftermath of this fight. I'm kind of curious how many of them are unconscious. Silvershade is really close to joining us. Ooh, but he just got aggroed right as I mentioned his name. Probably by bone dogs or bandits. Yeah, some... Oh, red sabers. Wow, we're dragging a group of red sabers out of the swamps. They don't usually come into this zone. Surprised a little bit. A little bit. Not much. Alright. They are still fighting. Well, Stubbs, you're insane. You want to get in on this? And I could go ahead and steal this stuff, and it's has some sell value. I'd be stealing it from a stone rat, and I'm kind of okay with that. So let's steal the clothing that is worth most. This is one way to get outfitted pretty quick. Is this their leader? Blend? Yep, here she is. That armor's kind of junk. Her armor is actually not as good. But nice helmet. I'll even take your Nadachi. This is funny. Antagonize her into a fight. Profit from the fight. Alright, Stubbs, you got your inventory nice and full. Stone rats. All these other stone rats seem to be more or less unconscious at this point. These shirts are pretty nice. Not that a hiver can wear them, but they're worth a pretty penny. Got caught stealing. One of those stone rats are conscious, because otherwise they wouldn't have cared. The guards certainly don't care if I steal from a bunch of stupid stone rats. And I can probably immediately off-sell it, because this merchant isn't exactly a stone rat merchant, so... Oh, no, they care. Oh, wow, you have the same name as the skeleton. Yeah, these are better. No, at the moment, I'm really encumbered and heavy. So, not wise to go marching through a dangerous swamp. Let's check in on our Fog Island friends. Silvershade's definitely made it all the way back home. The Fog Island friends are just out of the Fog Islands, so they're a lot safer too. Let's take a look. They're in Dreg now. And Windwing's actually running a little bit faster too. Silvershade. Here you are. You, my little Hiver Prince friend, is going to find a nice little node of ore and join me as I am everyone up. Let's prospect. Oh, he's standing on some iron. Is this true? Is it at the top of the mountain or something? Oh, there's also bandits like standing right... Oh, no, they're 100 guardians. Interesting. Prospect one more time. Oh, the iron's a little bit further out. Okay, that makes total sense. Alright, this is a copper resource. Wow, that's small. That is hard to spot. curious if there's a vendor anywhere in town that I can sell this stuff. Probably a thief fence if I could find one. Nope. They're a gambler. Worst case scenario, I send someone that has a carry weight down here and steal it. But if one thing I wanted to show is if I piss off a faction. Oh, the stone rats still don't really care. I guess I enticed them into the fight, but I didn't really do very much fighting per se. I kind of just let them get beaten up. So I'm going to stand around for another day, try to figure out how to offload this hot stuff before we leave. Could always drop it, but I'd prefer not to, if at all possible. Now while I'm thinking about it, let's check in on our food barrel. Oh yeah, we still have plenty of food. Anyone starving? I don't know why I even bother. Click. Griffin is a little hungry. Doc is still moving to AdMag. Because he's recruiting, just because it's nighttime, that's fine. We'll move him up into AdMag. Then Beep and Winwang are mostly out of the woods. They're still beak things and stuff, but as long as you're running fast, they should probably... They generally probably leave you alone. Alright, let's speed time up a little bit. Oh, but alas, I am, speaking of time, really out of it. We're well over a half an hour. Not that I mind, but I'm going to try to keep it to roughly half an hour format. Give or take, 5 or 10 minutes extra. So, yes, I am trying to get a crew together so I can start base building. Definitely next episode I'll have the crew together for sure. If I can't find rain, I'll just hire a few randoms and get going. I'll outfit them the best I can in the least amount of time possible, and then we'll have some fun base building. So if you enjoyed this, let me know through a like or subscribe. Stop by Discord if that tickles your fancy, and I'll have to catch you all later. Thanks for watching, and adios.